Jaylen Brown to the 76ers. Are the Sixers really the championship favorites now?
I don't know about that, but what in the world were the Celtics thinking? I cannot believe this.
And to follow up with that, does that take the Celtics out of the playoff picture? Hey everyone, this is PM Sport Talk, the father and son duo podcast. I'm your host Preston, alongside my father Mike and dad. How are we doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Just got off a nice long 4th of July weekend. Great weather.
Let's get right into it, we got a lot of news to go over, and we're going to jump right in with off-season seasons in the NBA, if you want to put it that way. We'll start off with the absolute blockbuster trade with the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. While Jaylen Brown was floated around in trade talk, Celtics fans thought, okay, we're moving this guy if we get Giannis. That's fine with me. Giannis' trade fell through. He went to the Miami Heat. So what did the Celtics do? They take an absolute stupid pivot in both of our opinions and a ton of people's opinions, and they trade Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers, who, by the way, the Celtics just blew a 3-1 lead to.
Unbelievable.
And in return, the Celtics don't get Tyrese Maxey. They don't get VJ Edgecombe. They go ahead and get Paul George. 36-year-old Paul George, who, by the way, they're going to have to pay over $50 million to.
It's just mind-blowingly dumb. Unless there's some grand scheme that we are not aware of here that's going to come out in the next few weeks or days, I have no idea what they're doing. Like you said, basically traded Jaylen Brown, who right now is probably a top 15 player, maybe even top 10 player in the NBA, for a bag of donuts.
Yeah.
Basically, and Paul George, and a couple of draft picks that, I think one is 2028 and the other one's not to 2031 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what are those? I mean, those
Absolutely
14-year-old
no
kid
value.
right now.
Yeah.
By that time, Jason Tatum, his prime might be over by the time you get these draft picks. I just don't understand, unless they're going to trade those draft picks and get something else. I don't know. Doesn't sound like it, though.
No.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Like you said, when I first heard that he was getting traded to the 76ers, I think you text me.
Called me.
And
That's
I was
how
like,
bad it was.
yeah, you didn't even text. You called. It's crazy. Nobody calls anymore. Everybody just texts. So, anyway, I'm like, well, they must have got Tyrese Maxey. And you're like, nope. VJ Edgecombe? Nope. Paul George? What are you talking about?
You even decided to throw in Joel Embiid as a guess.
Who would have thought that Paul George? I forgot he was even on that team.
Yeah.
That's how little impact he had for them this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, they beat the Celtics after the Celtics were up 3-1, right?
Yep.
And so now you just hand them your second best player, maybe your best player.
Could be
your best player over to them, a division rival.
Yeah.
It's not like you traded him to, the Lakers.
Or the West, yeah. Anybody in the West.
You trade him to a division rival.
Or even like Brooklyn or Portland or someone like that, yeah. So it's just absolutely mind-blowing to me. He was very disrespected by this organization for years. They always thought it was Tatum's team. Tatum might be the better player, but look what Brown has done for you. This guy got you banner number 18 with the Finals MVP with that. And then a couple years later in a season where Tatum gets hurt in the playoffs, and the next year everyone's thinking you're going to be a play-in team at best.
Right.
Jaylen Brown stepped up. Jaylen Brown was in MVP talks throughout almost the entire year because of how good he was. He led that Celtics team to a 2 seed. Nobody thought they were going to be that good. And then to add on to that, I get Tatum, you don't want to risk injury. He didn't play in Game 7. You want to know who did? Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him for not playing, but because of his injury. But still, Jaylen Brown.
I'm just
making the point,
yeah, like I'm just saying, like that's who you traded. He was. I don't even know what to say because I would get it if you traded him for some great player, But Paul George is not that. He's not. He's you took a pivot and it was a horrible one.
I get it that once the Giannis thing fell through, there was hard feelings there. You kind of had to trade him because this doesn't seem like he wanted to be there. And, I mean, but this seems like an act of desperation to me.
Yeah.
You can't tell me there wasn't somebody else you could have traded him for. Anybody. I mean, anybody that's,
I would rather have Jaylen Brown do load management and willingly sit out than trade him for Paul George. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's been almost a week since that trade was made. I still don't get why they did it. I never will. Brad Stevens spoke to the media, said the organization, it would take a better turn because their salary was between those two players. And while that does make sense, that's not the problem here, Brad. The problem is that's the best package you could get, and that's the team you're going to send him to?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
That's not the problem at all.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. I mean,
if you thought that Jaylen Brown had a good chance of staying with the Celtics, you must have been living under a rock because I had a feeling this was going to be the end of it once they didn't get Giannis. But yeah, you can't take that bad of a pivot. Like that's like you said, desperation. That's awful. That Brad Stevens has been one of the best GMs in basketball until he made that move.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, financially, maybe it's a good move. I have no idea, but it doesn't make any sense basketball-wise. And sometimes they make these deals for these expiring contracts. But Paul George's expiring contract isn't for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's not going to do anything this year. Like you said, they still have to pay him $50 million, and he's on the books next year.
Yep.
So they're going to have to find somebody that they can offload him to next year that wants an expiring contract, or they're going to be stuck with him for 2 years.
Exactly.
And they're going to be held hot. There's money-wise, they're still in the same boat, basically.
Yeah.
So
the only way the Celtics are considered a top dog in the East is if they miraculously go out and get LeBron James.
Right. And
it
doesn't sound like he wants to go there.
He doesn't. Rich Paul labeled the Celtics as one of his final teams, but
he did. I didn't know that.
He did, but we'll see. I mean, this is just awful either way. I hate the move. I hate everything about it. It's a sad day for Celtics fans. It's a sad moment in Celtics history because that says a lot that you can all that guy gave for the organization, and that's what you trade him for.
Well, I think, I don't know this, we probably never know this, but I think there was something there there must have been something there between him and Tatum. I don't think Brown wanted to be second fiddle anymore. Because when he made the comment, and you can call this just an ignorant comment or not, or maybe there's a lot of meaning, truth behind it, where he said this was his favorite year. Well, you just won a championship a year ago, 2 years ago. Why was this year your favorite year?
Because he got to lead that team.
Right.
That's the only.
And I don't think that resonated well with Celtics brass. Like, we just got bounced in the first round.
And this is your favorite
And this
year.
was your favorite year?
Yeah.
Like, so that has something. There's more to this, I think. But that doesn't excuse the fact that you got nothing back for him.
No, that's
the problem.
That is the problem. That's what we're talking about here. No one.
I don't have a problem with trading him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I knew he was going to get traded. It was a matter of time. It wasn't a matter of if. It was a matter of when. And he got traded. And once I saw the return, I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is the best you could do for Jaylen Brown. This is the best you could do. That's disgusting."
I mean, the Lakers got more for they gave up more for Walker Kessler than the Celtics.
It's ridiculous. I don't get it. Brad Stevens is gonna be.
He better have some grand scheme or else, because this could hurt him for the next 2 or 3 years.
And honestly, yes, Brad Stevens was a part of it, but it's not all him.
No.
It's the fact that private equity entered sports, and that definitely played a part in it. It's him and the ownership that really made the horrible move, because I'm sure he was getting pressured to move Brown, and this was a horrible pivot, desperation, completely rushed. Because I heard that, I don't know how true this is, but the Celtics wanted to get VJ as well, but if you're gonna negotiate that high, you gotta hold that high standard. You can't let them talk you down and be like, well, no, but we'll give you Paul George. That sounds like a great trade to you? Because if I'm that GM, I'm being like, no thanks, and hanging up the phone.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know. Hopefully, they have something in the works that we don't know about. But I doubt it. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, other than LeBron James, what is there?
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Go outside and DeMar DeRozan?
I mean,
Like
that's just another Paul George.
Don't know.
He's too old.
It's not good.
Would you say, if say they did get LeBron James in free agency, would you say they are better now with him, or better when they had Jaylen Brown?
Better with Brown.
Still, yeah, yeah.
I think the chemistry, you can't beat that when it's basketball, because it's such a team sport. You got to play together to have success.
Plus, Brown, I don't know if he was a great defensive player. Not really, I guess, but he still is a lot younger, and LeBron James' defense is not what it was once.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you there. Plus, Brown's probably a better shooter at this point. I don't know. If they did get LeBron, that would give them at least a fighting chance to do something.
Yep, I agree, but
that'd be about it. I mean,
yeah.
They might get to the second round or something.
With Jaylen Brown, they have a fighting chance. That's the thing. They definitely have a fighting chance with Jaylen Brown, and they don't have that anymore. So if they don't get LeBron, I don't have any expectations for this team. Not this year, and maybe not for a couple of years.
And I forget, who did they draft? Do you remember who they drafted?
Chris Sinak Jr.
Yeah, and
he's a good pick.
I like him, but I don't know if he's a year one where he's gonna just wow you year one. I'm not saying he'll give you some contributions, I think, but he's not that top tier player that's going to like make you forget Jaylen Brown. Right? Maybe he could develop into something like that.
Honestly, I want to bring this up now because it came out after we talked about the Giannis deal. The Celtics not getting Giannis, it wasn't about the offer itself. It wasn't about Hugo Gonzalez or any of those guys. What it was about was that the Celtics didn't want to give Giannis 3 years.
Yes.
They wanted to give him 2.
Yep.
And shame on them, because that could have been such a great trade for them. And they really messed it up, because I don't understand. Giannis isn't entirely old. He's in his 30s. I think he's like 32.
Yeah, he's 31 or 32. I mean,
and 3 years, he's going to be 35, 36.
I mean, LeBron's 40-something, still playing. So Paul George is what, 36?
He is 36.
Yeah, so you're paying him for 2 years. Why not pay Giannis for 3?
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. It's awful.
Anyway,
we're gonna go on for the whole hour if we keep talking about this. But man, such a horrible deal. I want to talk about more NBA free agency. We discussed LeBron. Rich Paul, his agent, he's always doing the talking for him. I mean, he is set on that. He thinks this decision will not be made and it's gonna take some time. Typical LeBron fashion.
He's gonna drag it out.
Yep. And yeah, like we mentioned, DeMar DeRozan, he got waived by the Kings. Any chance we get to see the Toronto Raptors team with Kawhi Leonard and DeMar DeRozan?
I mean, it's possible. I don't know.
I think that would be. What?
What's he have left though?
Oh, like playing wise?
Yeah.
He's still a decent
still
player.
decent? I mean,
He's not obviously in his prime anymore, but he's a decent player still.
I guess he could contribute. Yeah,
It would just be wild to see Kawhi and DeMar on the same team after these years.
true. Yeah.
That's why I decided to bring it up. The Lakers. Okay, this is gonna sound like I'm overreacting, but with you not getting LeBron back, I don't understand why you just let Rui Hachimura walk. He's a good asset, I think, and the Lakers told him they weren't bringing him back, so we went across the street to the Clippers this afternoon.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know what the Lakers are doing really.
I think they got to be trying to get younger. I mean, Rui Hachimura is not that old though. It's weird. They got Luka, Austin Reeves still. They'll still be a decent team. Obviously, they probably won't have as much success. They might though. I mean, this is why they made the Luka trade, because obviously, I mean, it fell into their lap, but now you have Luka to lead the Lakers when LeBron leaves, and now it's gonna be this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be this year.
And we've seen Luka with Dallas. I mean, he can lead a team, and Austin Reeves is back. We'll see what Walker Kessler can do. They got DeAndre Ayton off the team, so they're doing all the right things. But that one I thought was their first wrong move. Rui Hachimura leaving.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he could have been a key piece to that team.
I guess they didn't want to pay him. Probably
That must be it. But
it seems to be the thing these days. The Lakers, like I said, I think they're trying to go younger.
Yeah.
I don't think they're building for this coming year. They're going to try and get strong here in the next couple years and make a run at it. Probably, I guess, would be my. Luka's still young, right?
Yep.
So they got lots of time there. So I'm going to guess they're going to try and put together something to make it a real strong go at in a couple years. Because let's be honest, I mean, no matter what they could do this year, they're probably not going to compete with San Antonio or Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma City's going to be the number one team again.
Yeah.
At least in the regular season. I don't know. Playoffs, I think different things can happen, but I think regular season they're going to be.
I think
seed
again you're going to see 1-2 Spurs OKC. You're obviously probably going to have Denver. They're in there every year. I don't know who else is going to be good in the West this year, but
it's those two teams. I mean, things change, but to me, it's those two teams, and everybody else is just a little step below.
And I forget who had the number 2 pick this year for Darren Peterson. Do you remember? The Jazz.
What's the Jazz? Yeah,
the Jazz. I like them. I think they are going to be. I think they're going to be a playoff team this year. I really do. They got such a good young core going over there.
Yeah, they got a pretty good team going. I mean, like I said, young guys just get in the gel.
Jaren Jackson too. He's a veteran, kind of a veteran presence.
Yeah.
So I like what they're doing over there. I think the West will be a little interesting. I think you're going to see some teams this year that you haven't seen in a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. That's looking pretty good out there. I mean, like I said, it's kind of hard to predict things right now, but
yeah,
I think you're gonna, like I said, you might see a few different teams enter the mix, along with those two at the top there that I think are probably going to be dominant again.
Well, we're going to switch gears here. We're going to head over now to baseball, where there is one story from yesterday that I'm still scratching my head about. Eury Pérez, Miami Marlins starting pitcher. I don't know if you saw this.
I did.
92 pitches into his start, 7 innings through. Sorry, I wasn't specific enough. 7 perfect innings into his start. He got pulled.
Yeah.
That isn't a Marlins move. I don't know what is, because that was his perfect game to lose. I don't care how much pitches you're throwing. I get injury concerns, whatever. When a guy's throwing a perfect game, you don't rip that away from him. You let him lose the perfect game, then you go get him.
Yeah, it was 92, not 192. I mean, it's ridiculous. That would have never happened 10 years ago,
No.
15 years ago. Now they do it all the time. Managers and these organizations overthink these analytics. It's ruined a lot of things. It's just so frustrating.
If I'm Eury Pérez, I don't even know how I walk back into there again.
I wouldn't have given him the ball.
No.
I would have said, "You're not taking this from me. Go back in the dugout."
Well, that's the thing. I think he finished his inning, then he pulled him.
Oh, okay, yeah, probably right, yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense to me. I would have been absolutely livid. But like you said, if that was a situation, I'm looking my manager dead in his face and be like, "You can come get me after I give up a walk or a hit."
Yep. First walk, first hit, I'm out. But not until it was the 7th inning. It's not like I say, he pitched 7 innings. So only had 2 more to go.
Yeah.
He could have got out of those innings with few pitches. You don't know.
You
let him start that 8th inning and see what happens.
Exactly.
That's just horrible. And he said, "Oh, I got him." I heard him today on the radio. The manager. Sometimes I got to make unpopular decisions for the good of the team for the whole season, not just for the moment.
That is your moment for the season. That is your season probably.
Well, I mean, they're doing really good.
They are hot,
but still,
I'm saying you like you said, you let him go out, take the mound on the 8th inning, see what happens. Because I'm pretty sure either the very next 2 or 3 batters walk and a hit. So it was gone.
They were up like 8-0 or something like that, 9-0. They ended up winning 9-8.
Yeah.
So they almost lost the game.
Mm-hmm.
Not just.
Well, your unpopular decision almost lost you the game.
Right.
It wasn't just about a moment. It was about you almost just cost your team a win.
Yeah. So
and it was a decision so bad that the opposing fans were yelling shame at the manager.
I mean, it's a real typical Marlins thing, or I guess these new age managers, and it's just ridiculous. You would never have seen like Dave Roberts or anybody like that do that. They would have been like, "No, he's going out there in the 8th, and if he pitches another perfect inning, he's going back out there in the 9th."
You absolutely wouldn't see Dave Roberts. He pitched Yamamoto. Yamamoto had a complete game in the World Series, and he was warming up in the bullpen the next game.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. It's not regular season, but still. Yeah, it's just crazy. If it was just a no-hitter, I wouldn't have had a problem.
Exactly. You can do a combined no-hitter, and it's still, like, very cool.
No-hitters are not as big a deal. A perfect game.
Combined no-hitters are more, like, in my opinion, they're more impressive than a single-person no-hitter. Just because those bullpen arms just, like, they got to carry the same weight.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like you said, a perfect game, you don't take – that should be an unwritten rule. You don't take the ball from that pitcher until he gives up a walk or a hit.
Yeah, that was shameful on him. Karma, I tell you, karma almost came back to him in that game, but maybe it comes back later. I don't know, but I don't know the history of this pitcher. I haven't been following Marlins baseball.
He does get injured a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think you do that even if your pitcher's injury prone.
I mean, if he was up to 120 pitches, okay, fine,
yeah,
take him out. But he was at 92.
He wasn't at the century mark. You got to let him get there at least.
I mean, he could have threw 4 or 5 pitches and got outs.
Yeah,
if it
pitch to contact.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. He could have finished the game with 10 more pitches for all you know.
Yeah.
So
and it's not like we were in inning number 5, 4. Yeah. We're in the 7th inning.
You have to let him go into the 8th inning.
Yeah.
And see what happens from there.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't. So, I would have been. I wouldn't have handled that well if I was the pitcher. I mean, I don't know how he handled it, but I wouldn't have handled it too well.
No, I don't even know if I'm staying in the dugout after I get pulled from that. Like, I'm sure that sounds like such a team cancer diva, but like that would be so upsetting.
I don't think your fellow players would have had a problem with you because they know that with that importance of that, I mean, I would have been livid.
Yeah.
I would have been so livid. There's no way he would have took me out of that game.
No. I probably am like after like the final out of like the hitting before I go, I'm sprinting out of the dugout. Like I'm not letting you put somebody else in.
Yeah, right. I'm in. I'm going out there. You're gonna have to come out and drag me off the mound.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done. But I don't know the history of this pitcher with the manager, so who knows? But
well, yeah. I mean,
it's just
you can't. It's just something you can't do.
No, it's too bad.
Yeah. Well, with that, let's get into the talk of the summer, the talk of the world. We are going to bring you some World Cup talk here, and it was a very exciting round of 32. We're now into the round of 16. I want to talk about a few games. We'll start off with the round of 32. This was almost the equivalent of a 16 seed beating a 1 seed in March Madness. And I'm talking about Argentina, who was one of the favorites to win it all, going toe-to-toe in an absolute classic with Cape Verde. Ever heard of them?
I've heard of Cape Verde. You know how I heard of Cape Verde? From the Weather Channel. Because that's it. I never heard of their soccer team or sport. I know they have a sports team. It's just a small little island.
Yep.
Yeah, but wow. Watched a little bit of that game during the 4th of July festivities, and that was crazy. It looked like Argentina finally kind of put it away, then they come back and tie it, right? So,
that one goal that they had to tie it at 2, that was a beauty. Man, they almost, that was, many fans are calling it the day the script almost changed, because we know Messi, we know FIFA, they're like this, and
right.
The fact that Cape Verde was so close, and I give a lot of credit to their goalie. I gotta remember his name. Vozinha of Cape Verde put on an absolute stellar performance in the goal. He let in 3, but a couple of them were a couple headers, doinks. He was when Messi lines up for a free kick, the whole world thinks it's going in.
Right.
And he was able to save Messi's free kick, which was incredible on its own. And he really held it down. It's a shame because I found myself rooting for them once I realized like how close they were, but they have nothing to hold their heads down about. They should be holding them high. That was such a great performance by them. But unfortunately, Messi and Argentina were able to prevail.
Yeah. It's kind of like you said, 16-1. You want to see the 16 beat the 1 just because it's so spectacular. But when you get to the next round, though, you don't have that star.
Yeah.
If you don't have Messi in there, it kind of takes away from that. So it's kind of a catch-22. But yeah, you almost always root for that underdog though in that situation. But turns out the favorite one, and so the star is still in the tournament.
Yep. Well, into the round of 16, we got Brazil against Norway, and Norway ended up winning that game 2-1. Their star player, Erling Haaland, absolute beast. He had 2 goals. He had both of their goals, and both of them were absolutely incredible. You'll see one of them in our plays of the week. A little spoiler there, and as far as Brazil goes, this is the last time Neymar is going to play on this team. He has officially retired after this game.
Yeah, he's been such a great player for them, and they're always a powerhouse, but was not meant to be this year, and down they go, right?
Yep. Just an absolute classic player, and just incredible. All the him in his prime was incredible, and we're starting to see the end of the era, I would say, in soccer, because transitioning to today's game, Portugal was taken down by Spain 1-0. That's the last time Ronaldo will play for Portugal.
Yeah, so he's been a great player. I think he's 41, something like that, which is pretty old to play soccer. And you can see he's not quite the player he was.
Yep.
So his time is over. Great player. People probably have him just a step below Messi, probably all time. Those guys are like, Messi's probably a little ahead of him, but great player though. And like I said, he's had a great run, but Father Time has caught up with him, and that's it for him as far as World Cup goes.
Yep. So with that, we will have Spain will take on the winner of the USA-Belgium game later tonight. Topic to talk about later. I want to save that sort of for last because it's sort of the hot topic of soccer right now. Go to France and Paraguay. I don't know if you caught any of this game, but I've never seen a team deserve to go home more than Paraguay did. They were playing absolutely incredibly dirty in this game. So dirty that Mbappe, when he got a penalty kick to take the lead, he was sort of mocking the goalie a little bit, did his little point, mocked his movement. And at the end of the game, the keeper tried to shake hands with Mbappe, and he wasn't having it. He just kept walking. Keeper ended up throwing the ball at him after that. And
I saw that,
yeah. I know a lot of people don't like France, but definitely not a way you want to be remembered representing your country if you're Paraguay. And I'm going to speak bias. I'm glad they're going home.
Yeah, they played a really rough game. I don't know if it's dirty or not. I don't watch enough soccer to know if it was dirty or not, but they definitely were playing rough, and they got away with most of it. They didn't get any yellow cards or red cards or anything.
They absolutely were playing dirty. And yeah, that's why France had so much trouble scoring, was because they were taking out. These guys were targeting Mbappe. They were hitting him late, sliding into his legs.
They knew that was the only way they could win. They couldn't, if they went toe to toe with them, they couldn't win, and so they dirtied up the game.
And the refs, when the refs are letting it fly, I mean,
it almost worked. Right?
They're gonna do it. But yeah, France ends up pulling away with the 1-0 win off of Mbappe's penalty kick, and a heated game, but ended up being in favor of the favorite, which is France. We now let's talk about USA and Belgium. Why don't we? Absolute huge topic. USA's round 1 game against Bosnia. Flo Balogun called their top striker, one of their top strikers, called for a red card. And for our listeners who don't really watch soccer or know the rules of soccer, a red card means you're done for that game and you sit out the next game, and your team is down a player. Well, Flo Balogun, after review from FIFA, it was determined that it should not be a red card. The decision was overturned. He will play against Belgium. And I'm not going to get too riled up about this. I don't want to get too wrapped up in it. But it is involved with politics because the president came public with it. He said, FIFA, you absolutely should review this. They did. And Flo Balogun now is allowed to play.
Yeah, it's very he said he called up the FIFA president and told him that this deserves to be reviewed. They reviewed, and they overturned it. So everybody who's not from the U.S. is saying, well, if it wasn't the U.S., if that was some other country, they wouldn't have got this favor done. Which probably is true.
Yeah.
But it is the right thing.
No,
the right decision was made.
Yes.
You don't really like how it came about because it casts a light on, well, now government's getting involved in games and stuff. It should never have been a red card. That video assist replay is supposed to do it in real time.
Yep, they slowed it down.
They slowed it down,
they're
not supposed to do that.
It was FIFA's mistake.
They messed it up.
And take politics out of it. I am very happy that FIFA made this decision because, yeah, like you said, this should not be a red card. In my opinion, There's no intent. There's no malicious. I don't think there's no
Nothing.
malicious. It's a soccer play.
Yeah.
It's a soccer play. People are going to get tangled up. He's obviously trying to go for the ball. He just missed and cleated his leg. And like you said, they're supposed to review it in real time. FIFA messed that up because they went into slow-mo, which you're not supposed to do. Obviously, slow-mo is going to make it worse than what it really is. And yeah, I think this is a great decision disregarding politics. I think it's a great decision made by FIFA because no way Flo Balogun should have to sit out of this game. No way USA should be down a player because of something as small as this.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. This ref, too, has been investigated he's from Brazil, by the Brazil in their own leagues there that he refs or whatever. So he has a history of making some bad calls, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know enough about it. But this was a bad call.
Yes, it was.
The only thing, and you don't like politics getting involved. It's president. Whether you like President Trump or don't like him, he got involved. The only thing I would say that made it worse is instead of just getting involved and saying, I think you should review this, he has to take credit for it.
Yeah.
Which sets everybody off. Because he's so polarizing just here in America and abroad because of his personality, whether you like him or don't like him. But I'm not going to get into that. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter to me. But he probably made it worse because he has to take credit for, hey, look, I got Flo to, he can play now, basically. So it makes it look bad, even though it is the right decision. If you just go by that, and the only other thing I can say is maybe because the red card review rule thing is very vague.
Yeah.
The rule book, like you got all these people saying, well, you're not supposed to review. You can't review this once the call is made as a red card. You can't overturn it in an appeal or anything like that. But I have other people saying, well, it's kind of up to the discretion of FIFA if they do or not.
Yeah.
So now maybe with this all going on, maybe they'll make a rule that clears this up and says, hey, look, you can appeal this. You got, a certain amount of time before the next game to appeal it, and then, maybe hopefully something good comes out of it. But him playing is the right thing.
Yeah.
You just don't like how it came about.
Exactly. Perfectly
and that's
put.
all
Perfectly put. Yeah. I mean, politics just gets everybody going, everybody clashing heads. But if we're just talking about soccer here and FIFA and the review, the right decision was made. Obviously, Belgium's going to be upset because they think that, hey, it's a red card that should stand.
I guess their thing was, from what I heard, was they've prepared for almost a week now that he wasn't going to play.
Yeah. And
now they find out today that he is. I can understand that. But then there's also the other thing, like, hey, do you want to beat us with our best team, or do you want to have an excuse? Well, hey, you beat us, but we didn't have one of our better players.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's what it comes down to. It's obviously a big game. You want to have Flo Balogun out there if you're the U.S. because, one, you haven't been to the quarterfinals of the World Cups in over 2 decades. And 2, the last time you played Belgium in the World Cup, they knocked them out in the round of 16. So, obviously, a lot of emotion, it's a big game. This is like one of the first times in a while that the U.S. is being rallied by the U.S. fans. They have faith in this team. They think this team could really make a run at it. So, we'll see what goes down tonight. At 8 o'clock on Fox. I think that should be a really good game between U.S. and Belgium. With that being said, that's about all of our sports talk recap. Let's head in now to our first play of the week coming. Well, with that being said, that is the end of this week's episode. Once again, I'm Preston alongside my father, Mike, and we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.